You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the New England Patriots. Last night, they got a victory, 4-11 against the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos' playoff chances basically disappeared into nothingness. Before we get to that, very quickly, I want to tell everybody on the channel, Merry Christmas. Be safe out there. Happy New Year. Of course, there'll be 20 videos made between now and New Year, so, you know, I'm sure I'll say that again. Nonetheless, we had a situation last night. The game was broadcast by NFL Network. And a guy that I like, especially as an NFL player, he was a hard-nosed son of a gun, was Steve Smith, Sr. And last night, he was on the pregame for NFL Network, and it had me screaming at the TV. Okay, now, one of the things I couldn't stand about Richard Mendenhall's ridiculous rant about the fact that he didn't even want white NFL analysts, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute now. Number one, a lot of these ex-players aren't very good at being NFL analysts. And one of the reasons is, and this is a great example, you can tell they're not locked in. I guarantee you they are, a lot of them, like I know somebody like Dan Orlovsky puts in the time. Chris Sims puts in the time. But some of these guys, no, you can blatantly tell a lot of them aren't putting in the research. And Steve Smith last night, I mean, they asked him about this game, and he didn't even know what wide receivers were going to be available for the New England Patriots, and it was embarrassing. I'm screaming at the TV. Kendrick Bourne's been out for weeks, dude. I'm like, Juju's not playing. They ruled him out on Friday. And you're on national television talking about this stuff. And it was so embarrassing. It was a terrible look. Basically, just to set it up, this is what happened. Ahead of the Broncos-Patriots game, Sunday night, Steve Smith Sr. provided some unusual analysis for the NFL Network pregame show. When asked for matchups to watch, Smith cited Patriots wide receivers. But two of the three specific players he mentioned, Kendrick Bourne and Ju Ju Smith Schuster, weren't playing in the game, with Bourne out for the season, suffering a torn ACL in Week 8. Oh, my God. Smith Schuster ruled out for this game on Friday, ankle injury. And that's exactly why Mendenhall's comments drove me nuts. Because I told Mendenhall on his post, I said, dude, you can blatantly tell some of you NFL analysts, black or white, aren't putting in the time. I mean, it's nuts. The amount of beat writers I have to research, podcasts I have to listen to on a team level, a team-by-team level, multiple podcasts for some of these teams. You know, all of the insiders, just keeping up with all of this so I can cover all this and keep up with the statistics. You can tell these dudes are not putting in the work. And I heard this last night, and I'm going to play it for you. This is NFL Network right here. I'm screaming, Kendrick Bourne is out for the season, dude.
Tonight, who's playing a pivotal role on the stage in Denver?
I still have nightmares from Denver.
Why?
I dropped a game-winning corner route against there. Still bugs me at night.
Also, their airport is terrible. I have nightmares about that airport.
Oh, well, it's pretty
good. That later.
What are we talking about?
Matchups to watch.
Oh, matchups to watch? Man, how about any Patriots wide receiver? I mean, they got like 10 of them on the staff. I need all of them. Devontae Parker, need you to show up. Kendrick Bourne, I know he's probably not. I think he's hurt. Need him to show up. Ju Ju Smith Schuster, he's on the sideline. Need him to show up. Who else they have?
Got to help.
Well, they got a whole bunch of guys.
I'm screaming at the TV. Who else they have? Demario Douglas? Anybody? I mean, he's their best receiver. He would be their second best receiver if Kendrick Bourne wasn't out with an ACL. But I'm listening to this, and I'm just shaking my head, and I'm like, this is crazy. And, yeah, it's caught the attention of a lot of people. Awful Announcing picked it up right away. And this just proves my point. You know, this guy is not even putting in the time, not doing his work. And this is the same guy that dogged out Jerry Jeudy a while back for being just some average dude as a wide receiver. I actually agreed with that take. But this was embarrassing from Steve Smith to be going on national television on a Christmas Eve game and not even know who's available to play for the Patriots. I mean, what are you doing? Exactly. What are you doing? I mean, my God, if I'm going to guys, if I go to the gym, I mean, on the way there, podcast, at the gym, somebody else's podcast, on the way home, a different podcast on a different team, and this is every day, and we're talking, I may consume 25 a week. Every time I take my dogs down to go to the bathroom and take them for a walk outside, podcast. Buccaneers, Patriots, I mean, all the teams we talk, Browns, all these teams that we cover on this channel, Raiders, and just not putting in the work. It's nuts. It really is. So, Bailey Zappe, of course, guys, he messed around, had another game last night, and it's got people asking the question because as it sets right now, folks, this is their draft order. You see it right there. Patriots, they're in the 4th spot. Now, you know what the 4th spot's going to do, right? Cost you Drake May or Caleb Williams. Bailey Zappe, 975 yards, 6 TDs, 4 picks. QBR on the season, 35.2. I mean, he's not tearing anything up right now, okay? But there's been flashes from him. There has been. There's been moments. The Pittsburgh game, first half. A little of the game against the Chiefs, yes. And then last night's game, he showed up and he played well. And it's got a lot of people asking, do you roll in the next year with Bailey Zappe? And, of course, the Patriots won the game last night. I can't see it, but some NFL fans, they showed up. What a ball from Zappe. Bailey Zappe has done a really good job tonight escaping pressure. Zappe's great throw to Parker saved Belichick's win, which none of the fans actually wanted. Merry Christmas, Commanders. Yeah. I mean, he had a play to DeMario last night that was real good. DeMario Douglas is a real player, guys. Honestly, he's like the one legit weapon outside of Hunter Henry that's on this team. Late magic aside, Bailey Zappe still outplayed Russell Wilson. Merry Christmas, Broncos country. Perfectly plays football. Bailey Zappe last night. That was Mike Giardi. Bailey Zappe is flashing. Zappe going stupid. Kurt Warner shares Bailey Zappe texted him about how after he got cut in August, asking him if he ever had moments of doubt that he belonged in the NFL. Now Zappe is playing the best game of his career with Warner in the booth. What an unbelievable roller coaster from the moment from wave to practice squad to backup to starter to leading a game-winning drive on national television. Hear me out, Bailey Zappe. Full off-season of preparation, first-team reps. This dude is a baller. Bailey Zappe is outplaying a $250 million quarterback on primetime. By the way, he's not wrong. Perfectly plays football, somebody already said. Maybe multiple people said that. Stat Muse, 25 of 33, 256, 2 touchdowns, game-winning drive. I mean, he outplayed. Russell Wilson wasn't horrible last night, but he wasn't very good either. He wasn't. So, anyway, we looked at the reaction from Bailey Zappe. Of course, the Patriots won, but considering the Patriots' positioning now, and why is Chad Ryland still on this team exactly? Why is there not a veteran kicker? Why hasn't there been? How many games has the Patriots dropped because they don't have a guy that can kick a field goal? Just wondering. I mean, they've lost some real points over that this year. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point I'm trying to get around to is, are you sticking with Zappe next year? I like Zappe, by the way, Texas boy. I do. It's going to be interesting because unless you draft a Jalen Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., who's my guy, and I like him a lot coming out, but he's got an injury history. But unless you're going after one of those next-tier guys, Bo Nix, I don't know about that. You know, J.J. McCarthy, I think, ought to stay another year, but he may come out. Huge mistake. Do you allow whoever the regime is, whether it's Belichick or not, take a quarterback in the later rounds? You know, a J.J. McCarthy or somebody like that, maybe in the second. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, too, by the way. There's probably going to be like 10. But the point is, what do you do here? If you're a Patriots fan, do you want Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do you want Joe Alt out of Notre Dame? I believe he's out of Notre Dame. Badass tackle, left tackle. He's going to be a guy. I know I'm not going nuts. He's at Notre Dame. I've watched him play this year. Anyway, point being, what are Patriots fans going to think if you're not able to get Williams or Drake May? Personally speaking, I'd probably draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and then go out in free agency and sign either Michael Pittman Jr. or T. Higgins. And there, right there, I bring back Kendrick Bourne. And now you've got something on the offense. I probably bring back Hunter Henry because he's going to, I think, be the best tight end on the market. So you've got a tight end back, but your number one's T. Higgins, number two, Marvin Harrison Jr., number three, Kendrick Bourne or Demario Douglas. Pick your poison, and I think there's a world where Demario could be the number two. And Kendrick Bourne's your three or your four. And then Hunter Henry, you got some guys. That's some guys that can actually do something, catch the ball, get some separation, and then you've got to look in free agency and the draft to try to get that offensive line shored up. And very interesting. A lot of questions for the Patriots. But I just threw my hands up last night over Steve Smith and was like, what are you doing, man? I'm screaming at the team. I'm like, Kendrick Bourne's been out for weeks, man. What are you talking about? Juju's out today. What are you talking about? Man, I went to bat for him for that Jerry Jeudy thing. You know, when Jerry Jeudy lost his crap because, I mean, Steve Smith was right. I mean, Jerry Judy's just a dude. When there was rumors about the Patriots trading for him, I'm like, really? You want another number three? Question mark? I mean, you got plenty of those guys. I mean, yeah, are a fair number two, but I would rather, if you ask me, Jacoby Myers or Jerry Jeudy. I want Jacoby Myers. I mean, I ain't even got to think about that. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.